Good evening, dear friends. It is 8 p.m. on the nose Eastern time on this beauteous Monday night. I say to you a hearty hello and a hi-yo silver and a welcome. Welcome aboard the Peace Train, where we think, where we just ask questions, and we delve deep, deep into the abyss, the chasm, where we fight crassitude and intellectual indolence and torpor. That's right, my friends. Join us. Come forth. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, I don't care who it is, just welcome aboard. Welcome, sit down, welcome to the best group there is, the best group of people, the best group of thinkers, and the best show with the best family, bar none. Oh, my friends, you will meet some of the greatest people tonight, bar none, without exception. And I mean that with all sincerity, my friends, and with all due respect. Please, if you could and you would, I ask you a question. Number one, make sure you start to like this video right off the bat. We oftentimes don't do this. We don't say it enough because, well, frankly, we should. But it's one of those things where I've been most indolent. I've been most lax, so to speak, because I haven't been doing it and I should be doing it more. I mean, everybody tells me to do it, and that's the way it should be. And what are you going to do about that? All right. So, in any event, that's it. My friends, tonight and today, I hope you had the chance. And if you haven't had the chance before, I hope you do it since, but after. But this is one of the most incredible, how do I say this? One of the best pieces of Candace today, which I'm going to say. It was wonderful. She is better than ever, and she asked a question, and I hope you caught it. I hope you listened. I hope you paid attention. I hope you understood and you grasped all that was being said. This is the thing which is the most interesting. We are living in a world that is filled with deception and lies and this weird form of, I don't know what the word is. How would I best phrase it? We live in a world of kind of make-believe. Remember the song Angie Baby? Helen Reddy years ago. Living in a world of make-believe. Remember? And she sung it just like that, as a matter of fact. And we live, as I mentioned before, and I hope you saw my piece today. It was funny. I was rather prescient, rather vatic. I was pythonic. I read what Candace was going to be saying later this evening. Erika Kirk is emblematic, and this kid, what's his name? Nicky Sher, whatever his kid is. They live in this world of pretend. Nothing is real. Nothing is real. Nothing is legitimate. Erika Kirk, not to be mean, is not fraudulent, is empty. There is nothing there. There is no there. There is nothing there. Let me see if I can say this again. There's nothing. They pushed her out. She kind of liked it. They told her how gorgeous and beautiful she was. And she said, I kind of like this. And she always believed it. She really believed it. And now we're finding that she has taken this mythical, magical, whatever this world that she lives in, and she's just pretended to be something that she, my friend, is simply not. There is no Erika Kirk. There is no. What is this little kid's name? The one who supposedly went to. I was going to go to Cuba, and he found all this fraud. What's his name? That they love, Nicky. What's his name? He was on with Patrick Bet-David, who was so full. Oh shite! It is not even funny. Patrick Bet-David, Nick, that's good. Whoops. Nicky Shirley. Little by little, Nick the Dick. Nick, come on, work. One word. I love this group. Nerd. What's his name, honey? Nick Nerd. What's his name? Nerd. Say it. Nerd. Nick Shirley. I don't know his name. Don't give me that. So this guy, all of a sudden, he's, okay, fine. Hey, it's like that guy Bedbug. What's his name? Nick, whatever his name is. So all of a sudden, he comes about and he just creates this absolute horseshit line of nonsense about how he went, to a favela? They would hand him his intestines on a platter and a party toothpick and say, you won't live to see tomorrow. And they want you to believe this. They want you to believe that he's going into Cuba and he's this little kid. Anyway, it's all bullshit. We live in a world of merde, okay? Caca del toro, bovine y justa, fraudulent, all mixed with stupidity because they're thinking that you're stupid enough to buy this. Okay. So what we're seeing, and what she is this fraud. Her educational credentials, where she's from, what she's done, where she's lived, the excellence that she has exhibited, the excellence, the background. She was a star. She was a star. Don't you understand? She was a kind of a reality star. And then she had a boyfriend or two or three until she didn't. And then she gave you that line of shite. There I was. Always. It's like, hey guys, you caught me off guard. Yeah, it's me. I'm groovy, right? Woo, just caught me. Okay, I'll talk to you. All right. If you insist. Yeah, here's my boy. Here's my guy. Here's my dude. Ooh, sex sells. Hey, guys. Hey, Mama Reba. Yeah, it's me. It's... You love me. Pfft, that didn't work. I don't know what happened to those dudes. I don't think he had any kind of feeling for them. Did she? I don't know. It was the act. It was myth. It was mythos. It was a mythology. It was this world that doesn't exist. This is a thing I wanted to say something to you about. This is an idea that I want to bring to your attention. This is a thought that's very difficult for people to understand right now. What is reality? And does anybody today even know what it means? Do you know what it means? It's, a con man, a real con man, goes out into the woods, goes out into the forest, goes out into the world, and tries to fool people. And if they don't fool people, and if they don't make money, they lose their job as a con man. They whatever it is that they were supposed to do, they miss it. They lose their position. They just do. But with people like Erika, like some of these politicians, like PDB and these other, I guess you can measure success perhaps in terms of watching, but she never explained to anybody what it was specifically and exactly that we're supposed to really understand and or that we're supposed to grasp. She went, as an example, following along from this world of that to a kind of a make-believe later on world of I'm an entrepreneur. I have a company. I don't know what happened to the company. I did biblical stuff. I don't know. Maybe I did. Her educational background. This is important. Her educational background, her curriculum vitae, or vitae if you speak classical Latin, showed that she has an EDD. That I don't even know what it was. Educational this. Baron Coleman determined that apparently some of the things which she had alleged to have engaged in or majored in. It wasn't being offered. Okay, then that didn't work. And then later on, it was I'm a CIA operative. I'm going to be running an industrial on EMPs with Woolsey, and remember, I'm a spook. That didn't work. And then I'm a real estate a magnate in New York City for Corcoran Group, which is huge. And it showed you something which is most important. The lies. Ladies and gentlemen, the lies. And you know who didn't buy it? Women. Women see through this better than men. You know it, and I know it. I don't think that many average men, and I'm going to say this, have the intellectual and suspicion firepower to really see through it, and to be offended that they're trying to put her across, and they think you're going to buy for it. The night of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, when she did what did Candace call it? The wedding pictures, like behind the veil. Look at those. Even then, she has not reacted accordingly. She has not reacted appropriately because she doesn't know what she is doing. And every time you turn around like this Shirley and these other people, who are these frauds? Who are these frauds? Who are these people? Okay? Who are these people? Let me ask and go to another section, which is the most important. If you want to sell something, you've got to make sure that your audience believes in you. You got to make sure that your audience believes in you and that your audience trusts you. And that your audience is buying what it is you're saying. You got it? If they're not buying it, if they're not understanding it, if they don't really intuitively understand what you're saying, it doesn't work. You're wasting your time. You got it? Okay. So here's my question. There are people, this is kind of a different subject, but Thomas Massey, this is so beautiful. Congressman, Kentucky, every time he ran, he'd get 75% of the vote. These numbers were just incredible. Staunch, strong believer in President Trump, MAGA, the whole bit. Then did a couple of things which were problematic. And this is interesting. Number one, he went after MAGA and others who are saying, why don't you release the Epstein files, as you call them, the files? Because you think there's files. Sometimes there's files. You think there's files. There are no files, but I know what you mean. You mean the data, the information, the truth. Okay, fine. So anyway, so that's the first thing he did. And he said, why don't you release that, President Trump? Why don't you release that, President Trump? Why? Ooh. I'm thinking, what's the big deal? Some people were saying it. Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying it. By the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene, what is she in Costa Rica now or something? They say she might be with her fiance. I don't know what. She better act quickly because she's gonna, while she can maintain her position, she can't be too far away from the madding crowd, or else she loses her connection. Okay. And then he came out with something, and then he said that he was absolutely against our war efforts and our connection and our being tethered to Iran. And this, as you know, was the verboten, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. Okay? You cannot do this. And then all of a sudden, according to him on this interview with Tucker, everybody, not only AIPAC, but every version, every constituent or subsidiary version of the, quote, Jewish lobby, which people still want you to believe doesn't exist, which is I don't know what the big deal is. There, of course there is. And it's a very, very effective one. So all of a sudden, he's 1 point behind to a guy who was a Navy SEAL, apparently a real legitimate SEAL, but who can't speak. That they keep, according to Massey, they keep him away. They keep him away from the madding crowd. They keep him away from any kind of speaking engagement because he can't speak or he's terrible or whatever it is. Okay, fine. Whatever. And he says, look, I am having a difficult time, and I just want to let you know. And he was very, very straight up about this. And Tucker said, well, that's not right. He goes, that is not right. I didn't do anything wrong. All of a sudden, and this is what I was telling you before that Candace is going to do. All of a sudden, the money, pow. Citizens said, we'll do this. And all of a sudden, the numbers went through the roof. Why? Tucker Carlson. Not Fox News, not CNN, not into Tucker Carlson. Stupid low IQ, right? Tucker Carlson. Do you see what happens? Do you see what's happening? Are you seeing what's happening in the world right now? And not only that, people who normally would say, well, what's the big deal? Well, his position on Iran. Well, what is his position on Iran? And then all of a sudden, there it was. Wow. 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 And now it's all changing. So what they're doing also is doing this. They keep sending these obnoxious people to go on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is a buffoon who understands the most simplistic first cellular level of the just he's like the endothelium of the issue. Just that little veneer, that little thing that okay. And even he, because he realizes, okay, if everybody's saying something, I'm going to change my mind. He tried to be this pro-war and whatever. And by the way, this is not against Judaism. This is about Israel. It's about Netanyahu, as you well know. But anyway, that's not what people said at first. So he comes along and he does this, and now they're having people on like, I don't know if Shmuley's still doing it or these other people, but they're all terrible. Every single person who represents, who is trying to provide to you the quote Israeli cause is the worst, ends up hurting the cause. Please tell me why this is going on. Please. Because it goes back to the same idea from the same people who all of a sudden could put somebody like Erika Kirk on and not understand and not miss what's happening, not miss the irony of all this. You are seeing, and I mentioned this last night, you are seeing a revolution and a reformation, a reform. You're seeing something which is so huge right now. And the people in conventional, traditional, mainstream media don't know what to do about this. They don't know what to do about this. They don't know what to do about this. They are scared shitless. Nothing works anymore. They would come out in the old days, and they would bring the same people out, the Sean Hannitys and others who say, look, there's a lot of people that say, pay me enough money and I'll say whatever you want me to say. Just pay me. You want me to be the Rush Limbaugh Republican? I mean, the Rush Limbaugh, pay me. I'm not going to say anything. I don't have anybody you want. Jack Keane. You've got to be kidding. There are those of us who are laughing at this. Like, this is the military-industrial complex. This is neoconservatism. This is globalism. This is the Institute for the Study of War. This is the Newlands and the Kagans. We're laughing. Jack Keane laughing. We know exactly what he's there for, exactly what his position. And he was a general. I'm sure he served his country. I'm sure I absolutely know this. But I see it. You see it. We see it. But the people on Fox News say, I don't know what's wrong with Jack Keane. What? Am I making sense to you? Just nod. You do realize we live in a parallel universe, right? You understand that we see things differently. You do realize that people look and they're seeing what's going on with Erika, and they view her as some kind of a, you're still going after this poor woman. I'm saying she's a bullshit artist. Do you not? Does that mean anything to you? No. And here's why. They don't know anything. They don't know the first thing about her. Just like Piers Morgan, he doesn't know. He knows kind of what the story is, but doesn't understand the history, the depth, the behind the scenes reality, the antipathy, the whatever you want to call it. He doesn't get it. They don't get it. I don't know how to put it into words. What we're seeing right now is beyond any, it is so beautiful and so beauteous. So going back to Massey, everything is changing. This guy was told to be, this was somebody that President Trump, and by the way, you may have a hard time with this. I don't dislike President Trump by any stretch of the imagination. What he did and how he treated, and most people don't even know this, and my wife was there at Mar-a-Lago treating the parents of kids who through self-harm were their souls bereft, treated them like rock stars, opened up his heart and his money to these people. You've never seen this. You don't see it. Nobody saw this. There are no cameras there for this. There's no cameras. You don't know the charity. And I know people don't want to hear this because it's not an either or. What I say is about policy, not the individual, not the man, not the family, not any of that stuff. I've never confused the two. Never. I've never hated Joe Biden. Never hated Hillary Clinton. Never hated. Somebody was talking about, Obama. Obama's JPOA. His Iran policy makes more sense than anything we're seeing. Even he knows this. Raul says, for the right price, El Cid fought with the Muslims, then with the Christians. That's right, my friends, and thank you. They were mercs. This is the mentality of the mercenary. That's what we're talking about. It's the mercenary. That's what we're talking about. You see, this is something that I just hope you're getting this because I've never seen anything like this. You might not notice it because it's kind of, this is all you know. You're used to this. We never had this before. I've never seen this before. Do you? I come from a time, my generation, we saw it all begin. When you wanted to be in a band, you had to sign a deal with a record label because they had the recording studios and they could print and press the albums and distribute the albums. And if you wanted to have your song, you had to go on a radio station. And if you wanted to go into talk radio, as I did, you had to go on a big station. I mean, I went from the 13th market, 14, 15, the Tampa Bay area, to the number one, WOR, WABC. And today it's important, but not like it used to be. Not like it used to be. Candace Owens is looking at 6 million people. I'm telling you. Tucker Carlson, from his, I guess in Maine where he is, in his studio, he basically just talked to Massey for an hour, uninterrupted, and just recorrected the course of an election. This is ungodly. This is ungodly. In the old days, was can I get on Hannity? Can I get on O'Reilly? Can I get on O'Reilly? Can you get me? Do you know anybody who can get me on O'Reilly? That would be great. Not anymore. Not anymore. Look at the people who are changing the course of music. Look at the people who are just doing, and not just Pro Tools or whatever it is, but people who are just recording at their home. Some of the best music you've ever heard in your life. I am loving this time. I am loving it. You can hear some of the best analysis every day regarding Iran. I'm telling you, if you have not listened, listen to Judge Napolitano. Listen to his groups. Listen, Judging Freedom. Listen to Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter knows things about. I love when people talk about the specifics of the military, of the ordnance, of which weapons are used and how to use them and what the thoughts are behind them. Scott Ritter is just wonderful. Mearsheimer is phenomenal. The greatest is Douglas McGregor. Wonderful. Larry Johnson. Go down the list. Max Blumenthal is a bona fide genius. Aaron Monte. Just this there. And Anna Kasparian, who 3 years ago people couldn't stand her. She now is standing head to head with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Notice how AOC is now becoming Fox News. She called Marjorie Taylor Greene an anti-Semite. Are you seeing this? So we're seeing this confusion, this conflation, this rearrangement of orders. Please tell me you understand this. Anne from Alabama, I like that, says, I predicted upcoming episode where Candace reveals new text messages saying, we're screwed, just joining, gotta catch up. I thank you and welcome. We're screwed? Oh, we are screwed. Oh, we are not necessarily because of what Candace is saying. I think notwithstanding that, Candace has, for the most part, not spoken as much politically in terms of what's happening. And she doesn't have to. She's under no contract to do so. We are in many respects screwed, but we can change everything. Change everything. I can't say this enough, and I don't think people understand. And thank you, Anne from Alabama. I don't think people really understand this. You are part of a revolution. This is something nobody's ever seen before. And what we're doing is we're identifying bullshit. Listen, Erika Kirk, yeah, she's full of it. Is she deadly? No. Is she in charge of war budgets? No. In some respects, it's terrible because it sullies the message and the history and the thought of our beloved Charlie. She's a phony. She's ersatz. She's synthetic. She's fugazi. She's not real. She's empty. She's a wannabe little girl trying to be something. And these idiots keep enabling her. What's with this Hillsdale College? Have you seen her hair? Have you seen Rapunzel? What the hell's going on here? What is this? What is she trying to convey? Did you see Pat Sajak? Did you see him? The Ativan kicked in. Did you see it? Did you hear what I said? Go. It's just, and they better grab something. Let me grab this Hillsdale College because I really like what they're doing. Do not become Fox News light. Stand on your own 2 feet and understand what does it mean to be conservative. If that's what you want to be, if that's your thing, what is it? Anne from Alabama says, TP team is screwed, lies exposed. Absolutely. Now, Kimberly says hair extensions. You know, Kimberly, I don't want to be, but the hair extensions look like the wrong ones. I'm no tonsorial expert in this, but it seems to me that they're just like, they're this, what is this? What the hell is this? What is this thing? I don't know what it is. She's crazy looking. I don't know. Is that the idea of looking what? Like everybody else? Is that supposed to be? I don't understand this. You're funny about that. You know what's funny? Different colors also piebald, which is a great word, like a dog that has like white and black. It just doesn't, nobody's talking to her. Nobody's talking to her. Let me explain something to you, which is very interesting. I believed years ago there were people who really told you how to speak. And before any of this, before Trump, there was Ronald Reagan. Now, Ronald Reagan, whether you like him or not, it doesn't matter, people. Ronald Reagan was the greatest acting president because he was acting as a president. And they say that with all due respect. He acted like a president. Ronald Reagan was a genius. I wasn't thrilled with him by any stretch of the imagination. I'm talking about just performative. Let me tell you what he did. The first thing Ronald Reagan did, which was so beautiful, was they used to have the State of the Unions, and they were boring. Trump, whenever Trump has the State of the Union, it's like an Oprah thing. And you've got a car, and you've got a car. He brings people on. And remember the kid with cancer? How's he doing? Remember the poor kid who wanted to be a cop? Remember the poor kid was like 38 years old, dressing up like a cop? He looked like Emmanuel Lewis, TV's Webster. Remember that? Remember that one? And the Democrats wouldn't even stand up for a kid with cancer. Anyway. I don't know what happened to him. Is he okay? I don't even want to ask. But anyway, but that was Trump. But before that, Reagan came out. The first one was after he was shot. And we didn't know how bad he was, but he almost died. I mean, he was shot and he was quipping in the surgery suite. He said, "I hope you all are Republican." Oh. And he lost a lot of blood, and it may have precipitated or accelerated his ultimate cognitive decline because it didn't warm the blood, or in any event. When he came to Congress, oh, God. Left, right, everybody, they went batshit crazy. They loved him. And it's the way it should be. There was no partisan. I mean, he could have said anything. He said, "Well, the funny thing happened to me." Now, whether he was real, we don't know. He was strange with his kids. The kids are screwed up too. Remember his daughter, Patty, posing nude in Playboy? For the love of God. I knew his son, Ron. He was very nice. I don't know what happened to him. He just took off. But anyway, the second thing he did, the most important thing, was during one event. It was I forget what day it was, or year 80 something, but Air Florida, I think it was Flight 90, crashed into the Potomac at this bridge in Washington. It was freezing and snowing. It was terrible. I'm doing this again. I'm doing that noise to emphasize how terrible it was. And the plane crashed. There was this woman, Tirado. She was a nurse, and they were dropping this rope or something, and she was in shock. She was freezing. She was trying to grasp the rope. Nothing was working, as you can imagine. She's trying desperately to grab this rope. And I don't know what happened, but people just looked at her and go, "Huh." Today they would be taking pictures with their phones. Lenny Skutnik, the guy who worked for some obscure, I don't know, government office, says, "The hell with this," pulls his jacket off, dives into the icy, gelid Potomac, and helps her, either puts the rope around her, does something, but saved her life. Freezing water. Can you imagine his balls? He probably never saw them again, ever. They turned to BBs and they just fell off. Probably never saw them again because they're thermoreceptors, as you can imagine. In any event, soon thereafter was the State of the Union. So what did Reagan do? First time ever, he invites Lenny Skutnik to sit next to Nancy. Oh, man. And people thought, "Who the hell is this guy?" Who? They didn't really notice because nobody really noticed up there. And he said, "Well," he does that "well" thing, and he said, "Tonight, America is," I can't do it, Reagan to save my life, but America is a bevy, a coterie, an assemblage of heroes, and no finer hero was this man, Lenny Skutnik, who, upon seeing a woman flailing about, gasping for air, soon to drowned in the icy, frozen waters of the Potomac, dove in, only never to see his balls again because they went so far up his pelvis, he froze it. Anyway, and he saved her life. And ladies and gentlemen, he is here tonight. And I ask you to pay respects and honor to this hero, Lenny Skutnik. They stand up, they go crazy, and Reagan does a thank you, good night. And he takes off, and they go, what the hell? Wait a minute, what about that? What the hell? Yeah. And that was Reagan. A feeling. Stuttering John Corleone says, have you heard the Erika Kirk Stupid as Something song? I have not. And don't know if I will. Perhaps maybe you can hum it to me. I have not, but I'll listen to it. It's kind of redundant. Does anybody here feel sorry for her? Be honest. Does anybody feel sorry? Ladies? Ladies, do you feel sorry? Come on. Isn't there any of you who says this poor gal never had a chance in her life? She's just trying to make a name for herself. She's just trying to make a name for herself. And you people are just cutting her down. She's a, what do you mean no? Nope. Come on, ladies. Come on. Come on. Don't you understand? She never had a father. Well, maybe she did. Maybe she did. I don't know. That mother of hers, you know, that Laurie Franz, she was growing up, this young girl just trying to make sense of the world. Trying her best. Trying to just do something. Make a name for herself. Failing miserably. And then one day she found the Lord. Don't you believe she found the Lord? Is there any one of you who truly disbelieves the fact that she truly, absolutely, 100% found the Lord? Are you telling me that was a joke too? When she said that she never dated and she never dated men and she stayed home and never drank, are you telling me that you don't believe that the evidence that she had dated men and had drinking or had been drinking, that was just an exaggeration? Are you telling me seriously that you don't believe this? Do you not believe that we all grieve in our own ways? Are you suggesting that she somehow didn't earn that Hillsdale College honorary doctorate? Are you telling me that she has not spent every available moment dealing with her kids? Are you trying to tell me that she's been negligent in basically abandoning her kids? Are you telling me that you don't believe this? Do you not believe that she reached out to Charlie's family, reached out to try to say, I want to bring you on board, but they kept saying no, the father and the sisters? Do you not believe the fact that Charlie was the closest to her mother, Laurie Franz, and that that they were so close? Do you not believe that on their honeymoon, they were, before they discussed their plans for raising the family, on their honeymoon, that Charlie was taking classes. He had to finish up his coursework. Did you? Colonel McGregor for president and Franz for jail. Oh, what do you think? Have you, listen, dear friends, thank you. I don't think anybody's ever gone to committed any crimes yet. Do you? I don't think she's committed any crime. Either Lori or whatever. I don't think she's committed a crime. But are you telling me you don't believe this? You don't believe me? You don't think that she moved the picture from Charlie's office and moved it away so that her children could see it? Do you not believe? I mean, do you have any doubt that all this Fort Huachuca stuff was just crazy, I don't know, talk about, didn't really matter? You don't believe that. And the reason why you don't believe that is for very, very good reasons. That's the point. That's the point that was important. This is really something. This is very interesting. Nash, a lifetime of 30, plus years of lies, just an honest mistake. Even if she has been brainwashed, she's been given the position of charity to gain political power. Not a small thing. Oh, I think TD's on to something there. And who's this Nash feller? What's going on with that one? Every now and then you see one of these people that come up. Somebody said General McGregor is a nutcase. Does anybody here truly believe that Colonel, I should say, should be General, Colonel Douglas McGregor, do you believe that he is a nutcase? Is there anybody here who really believes that? You see, this is the kind of lying that I see. This is it. This is the world we live in. Just say something. Say something to be opprobrious, to be outrageous. Say something to vilify and libel that great American. That great American. If he was in charge, we wouldn't be in this mess right now. And here you are saying he's a nutcase? Listen, do me a favor. If you want to troll, kiddo, do it better. Move into it. Not like that poor kid with the hat backwards, bed bug or whatever. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Do it the right way. Show some class. Work on it. We'll help you. We'll help you. It's okay. Don't insult me and my family members here, because we're a family. By coming up and saying he's a nutcase, is that the best you can do? Lowercase, no periods, no punctuation. Look, this subliterate thing may work with you at the feed store, but it doesn't work with us. Do it the right way. Show us a little respect by trolling us with a little bit of something. This McGregor was an absolute hero. And John Mearsheimer, I would make him. Marco Rubio, get out, boy. Let a man take over. West Point grad. He's a genius. He's absolutely an academic too. Oh my God. But they'll go crazy because he wrote the book on the Jewish lobby. You can't do this. I would make sure that Judge Napolitano, the very first time I get an opening for any Supreme Court, you're in, my friend. And if Ketanji Brown Jackson, this subliterate who has the redistricting case was so bad, she was the lone dissenter. Even Sotomayor and Kagan said, get away from us. What, you got something wrong to say with Judge Napolitano? I think he's fantastic. Wonderful. Larry Johnson, head of CIA. I like them apples. Just go down the list. Scott Ritter, well, Department of Defense, DOD would be McGregor. Scott Ritter, just for grins. I don't know. What do you want, Scott? Joint Chiefs of Staff? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you'll be in. I'll recommission you. We need some people here who've got balls, not these other people. To call him a nutcase. And you've got that Jack Keane. Jack Keane, are you kidding? The Institute for the Study of War? Don't you don't know anything about this, do you? Do you understand? Let me tell you something. This is, I cannot believe how were it not for this, were it not for programs like this, we would never be able to hear his brilliance. They're not going to put him on TV. You think Sean Hannity's going to do that? You think Hannity's a good guy, but he doesn't. Come on. Got the balls of a field mouse. Wouldn't have him on. Never. I want real warriors, real people, but people who say something. I'm so tired of these politicians who say nothing. What does Rand Paul ever do? Nothing. Says some good stuff, but never does anything. John Kennedy. They think he's great because he's funny. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. One time I had a coon dog named Toby. We had a neighbor, Jebediah Terwilliger. I was like, would you get on with it? What are you talking about? What is this? Remember Jim Jordan? Jim Jordan was great with Fauci. What happened? Fauci, the statute of limitations ran out. He's a free man because it's fixed. It's all fixed. It's an inside job, and you know it, and I know it. That son of a bitch should be cracking rocks upstate, along with Mayorkas. It's a joke. Nobody respects it. Must have pictures of people with a duck or something. I don't know what the hell's going on here. You're sick of the corruption. You're sick of it. I know you are, and so am I. And we've developed a real serious allergy to bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I know what you're thinking, and I know what's going on, and I know in your heart of hearts you agree with me 100%. I don't know what you call this politically, but stop lying to me. Let me go back one more thing to this dingbat, this gal, this little girl named Erika. If she came out one time, if I said, Erika, do me a favor. I want you to listen to me. I wrote this out for you. She has to read her. You see how she reads her notes? Doesn't even have a prompter. He's got a prompter. Anyway, you've got to come on and you've got to say the following. You've got to say the next time you speak that if you want to honor Charlie, go out and be strong, be bold, and stand up for what you believe in. Work hard, marry, have children. And if you're a woman, like he told you, stay home and take care of your kids. Unlike I'm doing right now. I not going to say this, but talk about Charlie. Talk about the honor of philanthropy and beneficence and charity. Talk about the Lord's work. Do what you're supposed to do, and they will love you. But she can't. Do you hear what I'm saying? She can't do it. If I just told her, I said, do yourself a favor. Just go out, give a speech on anything. Just don't bring up yourself. Talk about the Yankees. Talk about how you like to show friends. You're not sure what steel-belted radials are. You can't find your keys. Anything without saying me or how you're laboring under the load of this, the angst, and they will love you. They'll listen to you. They'll say, did I just hear that? Did I just hear a speech without her mentioning her name? Yeah. Wow. Did I hear it? Yes. She really did do that, didn't she? Yes. She actually said that's all she has to do, but she can't do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? She can't do it. Who advises her? Who advises her? Who are these people? You know that Ben Shapiro is gone. TPUSA is gone. Erika's gone because it's over. And I don't know why maybe some people just don't, they're the last to know. But who next, my friend? Who next? Who is going to be the leader? Who? How do we pay homage to Charlie? How? If Erika, maybe Tucker can have a scholarship, something that Charlie Kirk, something, it would go crazy. It would go crazy. Name something after him. Name a chapter of something. Give an award, the Charlie Kirk Award, and then have what's her name? So you can, because remember she was trying to copyright his name and all this other kind of stuff. That's the way you do it. Because remember, the message of Charlie hasn't been lost. This is what you've got to understand. There are people out there who really, really believe it. Mrs. Ellen and I have been noticing that there have been more and more pregnant folks than than we ever saw. The idea that somehow, I think Trump was even saying, we're losing children. No, we're not. There are loads of people, loads of kids out there, new families and the like. The thing that young people believed in more than anything else, they really understand. They love the notion of family and all the stuff that people thought was old-fashioned. People love it. They love this. They like the idea of going to church and believing in something. And there's something wonderful about doing something and living by a code. Do you know that there are many people, I'm not going to say many, but more than you would think, who are watching us and watch the shows, who themselves suffered substance abuse, addictions, and the like. And one of the greatest things they ever did in their life was to fight and beat a substance abuse, something that went into their head and rewired their brains. It's something that people don't really understand. It's not just somebody who drinks or uses drugs, especially using drugs. And that's why, in the case of Bobby Kennedy, you got to be very careful. Heroin addictions kind of rework, rewind, and that sort of thing. But. And one of the things they're the most proud of is that they said, I beat something internal. I beat instinct. I beat habit. I beat addiction. I ran a marathon. I did something. People love accomplishment. And they don't like somebody who fakes it. And there are young people out there who maybe their parents didn't tell them or maybe whatever. And they don't want to necessarily hang around. Have you heard bowl parties where they have parties and they take their phones and they get rid of them? That's the message out there. Now, let me ask you something. Do you have kids yourself? Do your kids, are they indicating a political direction? What are you saying to your kids? What are you doing? How are you directing them accordingly? Who helps this generation? I have a feeling, and I'm sorry to say, that this generation, maybe yours and mine, are too lazy to care about this. I keep saying I want to inspire people. I want to have, I'm telling you, a summer camp or something. Nothing that's involved. You can do it online, or you can show up, or you have somebody who says, I'm going to give you a rudimentary basis. Nothing. Sometimes you ever hear some of these great lectures on YouTube, and they're so involved. You think, this is not winning me over. This is kind of sort of boring a little bit. This is not helping me. You know what I mean? But to tell people, this is what we need to explain. I want to explain to you how things work. I want to explain to you not only it's not left and right, but we have Agenda 2030 that's coming in. We have attacks on our sovereignty, attacks on our morality, attacks on our system. I'm going to explain globalism to you. I want you to go out there, separate and distinct from. Erika Kirk didn't know. I don't know if Charlie even talked about it. Maybe he did. But now's the chance. And I want everybody to understand you've got your kids and you've got others, but we have to do something about this. This is our chance to really, really, I would hope, make a difference. And when I tell that, people look at me like, what the hell is this guy talking about? What is he talking about? This is nuts. Strada something or other, Strada B3U says, Massey for VP, Tucker at the head of media, Candace for White House Chief of Staff, Franz for jail. Why do you think, thank you for that, why do you think either Lori or Erika, why are they haven't committed any crimes? Candace should never run for office. You will kill her. You will destroy her power. You will destroy her her verve, her fire, her elan, her focused commitment. You do not want this. You do not want her or anybody near this. They will lose their power. If Tucker or any of these people got near this, it would destroy everything. I hate to tell you, but the people who really are the most important are the people who make the opinions matter, who affect elections, who make people think, you know, it might be a good idea for me to perhaps maybe, kind of get with a straight and narrow and listen to what Tucker likes versus having Tucker come into some office. I don't want to use the power of lawfare incorrectly. This stupid lawsuit that they're talking about still about Comey and this 8447 or whatever, that is so stupid. That is an embarrassment. That is an embarrassment. What are you talking about? You can't do that. Some people lose their minds. They need me to set them straight. You hear what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? They need me to set them straight. You know why? Because I don't care. Candace Owens on one day. Now remember, if Candace, the next thing for Candace is going to be what happens. Eventually, the Erika thing is going to go away. She's going to quit. She's going to go. That's it. The next thing is going to be, the focus is going to have to be the trial, the trial, the trial, the trial, the trial, the trial. Free Tyler Robinson and find out who really killed Charlie. There is not one person that I know, not one person who believes for a moment that Tyler had anything to do with the killing of Charlie. Period. He didn't. And if you just tuned in, and if you've never heard me before, as a former prosecutor, as a lawyer, I will tell you very, very simply this. They can't prove the case. Maybe you don't like the idea of the fact that Tyler didn't do anything. Maybe, okay. But they've got a rifle that they can't connect with anything and no confession. They've got the worst confession. He turns himself in, goes to the police and doesn't confess. But you're going to get some cross-dressing gay roommate with a fuzzy hat named Lance or Luna. And this guy's going to do what? Tell you what? That he admitted to what? Now follow me on this. That Tyler admitted to what? What, killing somebody? With what? How did he do it? Did he say how? Did he say how? Luna? Did you ask? Wouldn't you think if somebody said to you, hey, I just, took somebody out. Wouldn't you say, how? What happened? Nope, not going to ask. See, sometimes when people don't ask questions, it tells you a lot. Remember O.J. Simpson years ago? O.J. Simpson, when he was running, remember O.J. Simpson, very interesting. O.J. Simpson, when he was in Chicago and the police called him and said, oh, by the by, O.J., by the by, your ex-wife was unalived. And he says, oh, well, I'll come right home. He never asked which one. He had his first wife, and then there was Nicole Brown Simpson. He never asked which one. See, sometimes it's what you don't ask. This guy didn't do it. And it drives people crazy, like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is the one I want to see him ground into the dust. And you know who did it, Ben? We didn't do it. Candace didn't do it. You did it. Hoist by your own petard. You titmouse. This guy who's a proponent of, this guy whose idea of, let's speak really fast. Let's speak quickly. And somehow that'll be converted into some idea that you think he's brilliant because he's speaking so fast. Let's make fun of Candace. Candace Owens could do something. She said, let me show you something. She hasn't done this, but she could. She might say, today I'm going to turn my show on. I'm going to tell people that a live coming up at 5:30 Eastern. And she can never do it. Let's say she doesn't even show up. And then she goes, oh, my bad. She'll get more people waiting for her. Not even here. Waiting. Than Ben Shapiro's ever done in his whole life. And did you hear what Tucker said about Mark Levin? One of the best questions ever. He says, what does Mark Levin do? What is his power? Who's Mark Levin? Who is he? Tucker, you had ask a good question. Who are these people? If somebody came to me and said, okay, let's assume Israel, the government of Israel, not the people, but the government, Bibi, Likud, whoever it was, called me and said, listen, we want you to work with us. And if I said, okay, I would say, well, what are you going to do? Well, we're going to put together, we have a phalanx, a group of people who are going to go out there to speak our particular, the merits of our position. Okay, who? Who are you going to get? Gal Gadot, remember that, the model who was with Leonardo DiCaprio? No. Is it Natalie Portman? I forget who. Someone like an actress, a young person? No. Maybe somebody who's I don't know, an actor or somebody. No. Somebody who is trying to maybe convey the plight or the position of the Israeli government, maybe by somebody who's likable, attractive, intellectually, physically, whatever you want to call it. No. Well, who'd you get? Mark Levin. What? Mark Levin. Who else? Ben Shapiro. Oh, God. What? Shmuley Botia. Stop it. Stop it. No, seriously. Who'd you get? No, my God, these three. Don't tell me you got Ben Shapiro. He's the front man? And by the way, what did you do too? Yeah, we also shit-canned Candace. Why? Well, because she said things about, Israeli. Why did you do that? Now all her fans, but by the way, she has, Daily Wire has no fans. It was just her and Charlie and other, or Prager and all these. Who are you going to get? Who are you going to get? Who are you going to get to make your point? You've got people who do nothing, but they're on 24/7. The not because they're anti-Semitic, many of them are Jewish. You think Dave Smith an anti-Semite? Anyway, so this is where they lose me. Why are you? I'm not saying don't promote your cause. Why would you get this person? Why? Dear God, why? I don't know. I don't understand why people do that. I would think, listen to what I'm telling you. In my lifetime, I have never seen, and the numbers bear it out, public opinion regarding Israel be this low ever. 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 Why do you think that is? Why? What happened? Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that is? Why? Is it because of the facts of the case? They don't know the facts of the case. Half these people don't even know where Gaza, never even heard of it. That's not what they're basing this on. What are they basing it on? They're basing it on the fact that there is a constant, uninterrupted stream of fact and opinion that spells out not just mean-spirited stuff that borders on anti-Semitic, but a reality regarding the horrors of Gaza, but now the stupidity of the war with Iran. Stupidity. And people are saying, wait a minute, if this had nothing to do with our national interest, why do you think we're there? And they'll tell you why. That is a fact. Those people did it. Tucker Carlson, Candace, go down the list. It's like a momentum. This momentum. And what did they do when people were at universities? When they were protesting on behalf of Gazans, they arrested them and expelled them and took away their scholarships and everything. Are you kidding me? At a university, the marketplace of free ideas. Do you see what I'm telling? Just nod. Just nod. I will never forget that as long as I live. How stupid. Why are you doing this? You either ignore your enemy or move on, but you don't martyr them. Why did they do this? Why? This is people are smarter than you think. People are absolutely smarter than you think, and they understand it. And nobody is thinking this through. Nobody. You know what's also happening right now, which is fantastic? In D.C. and among the left, they're turning on AI like you cannot believe. You see what happened today? Trump is going to be seeing Xi Jinping. He's bringing Musk and Tim Cook and everybody you can imagine. They don't know what to do. You know who did that? You know who started us? We did that. My wife did that. Her people did this. This is the most important thing things are changing drastically. And the power right now, is going to be Candace and Tucker and others. And they're going to be offering her the moon. They're going to say, listen, we'd like you to say, excuse me. And she will say to you, you can't buy me. Because once she does it, it's over. And she never would. But if you ever found out that she was purchased, bought, be over with, be done. It would never happen. Listen to what I'm telling you. They're not going to be going to Fox News. They're going to be going to people like, if all of a sudden people respect Tucker big time, and the best thing you do is fire somebody, fire them. It's a little bit difficult when you're even if you're in office, because sometimes you need to be in office or somebody votes you out of office. But when they fired Candace and they fired Tucker, that was it. You just thank you. You want them to quit. Never fire them. Why would you want to martyr somebody who is going to destroy you? And when you speak of them, you just say, I worked with Candace for the longest time. I knew her well. She is a woman of integrity, and I have nothing but respect for her, and I wish nothing but the best for her and her family. That's it. Don't even talk about what she's saying. But what do you think about what she's saying? In this country, we believe in the First Amendment, and everybody has the right to speak. And we would never, ever. There's one thing we would stand up against: somebody telling somebody what you can and can't think. This is not communist China. What you're saying is, we're not offended by her. We're not affected by her. Keep talking. She's entitled to her opinion. Move on. Jim Conway says, free Palestine. Nobody says from the river and the sea anymore. You notice that? You know what's happening? What are we talking about? Iran. What happened to Palestine? What happened? You know what the answer is, right? Because Americans can't think of two different things, three different things at one time. Can't do it. They can't do it. And we're going to teach them. We're going to teach them. But nobody, remember, from the river to the V, the kafia and all that. What about Gaza? Did anybody? Here's a question. What about the hostages? Quick. Are they released? Still there? Accounted for? Whatever. October the 7th? What happened? Are there any hostages? Whatever happened with that? What do we do? Whatever. This is one of those things. Remember, the best thing about, you got to understand about America is that we just forget stuff. It's nothing personal. It's just one of those things. The question is, and what people want to know, what happened to the hostages? What happened to the hostages that were taken October the 7th? What's the status as of today? Were they all released? Were they accounted for? What was the final count? Why doesn't anybody talk about them anymore? See, that's the thing which people have to understand. They must recognize that in our country, we don't remember a lot of things. We just kind of forget. It doesn't matter. It's one of those things. You know, the reason people seem confused is because the hostage situation unfolded in phases, they say, over more than 2 years, and media coverage gradually kind of shifted towards, the broader Gaza war. But you look at who the workers were, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but what I'm telling you, it's not over with. But you see, it just went away. It just went away. Look at this. Look at poor TD. She says, I'm in UK. Or she says, I'm in UC. I have to watch what I post or I could face prison. I know. TD, I'm not mocking you. God bless you. The very fact, what has happened to our great friends in the UK. I talked to my friend Sean Atwood. I hope you know, listen to him. It's still unbelievable. We look to you to say, never let this happen to us. Did you ever think, not only are you the epicenter, the cloaca, the grease trap of what amounts to out of control immigration offenses, but your whole government. Let me tell you what's going to happen, TD, and I say this to you, and I mentioned this last night. The future for you is going to be a reform party, a la Farage, Nigel Farage. A reform party, not a revolution, but a version of one kind of the best or whatever. You start with the basics. Say this is kind of like the basics of what we're going to, what we believe in, but will allow you to do a few things, but we have a certain core. We have to listen to what's going on. We have to listen to what's going on. Whatever happened to Tommy Robinson? They blasphemed this guy. Why? Because he dared to bring up the fact that there were trolling groups and, oh my God, what is happening in the UK regarding all of the Christian churches that are burning down? Whatever happened to them? How did you let this happen? Lori says, did you watch the Leonardo Joni video? I did not. I will. I don't know if somebody could send me a link to that. Perhaps I did not watch that. I did not watch that. Leonardo Genie? Who is this? Sometimes I don't know if this is. Let's see what this is. Leonardo Joni. This is, she was born, this is a Montenegrin American comedian and political commentator. I will do that. If there's anyone in particular, let me know. I'm going to put this into my list of what I want to watch. See how we learn? It's like when somebody gives you a new music to hear. Let me see. Let me put this in there. And also today we're interesting. Leonardo, the case of Nick Fuentes, friend or fed, FBI caught lying about gun statistics. Excellent. I'm subscribing right now. Excellent. Thank you for that. Excellent. You know what's funny? Have you noticed this? Have you noticed how comedians, what we used to call comedians, the comedians are the people really making the most impact or having the biggest impact, the biggest effect are comedians or people that we call comedians roughly. When I was a youngin' years ago, I opened one time at the Bergen, was it the Bergen Pack? Anyway, for Dick Gregory, Mort Saul, and Robert Klein. And Dick Gregory and Mort Saul, they were ahead of the pack. Same thing for Carlin later on and Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks, I think, is one of the most, Lenny Bruce. But they didn't have the internet. They didn't have the internet. The internet's a loudspeaker. And we need, I hope what we can do is we need to have comedians who will come out and they will tell you the truth, which is the most important thing. I'm saying this. The only hope that we have are young people. My generation shot. They're just worthless. Especially the ones who, they might have been big in the old days, but they're worthless. I don't know what it is. I don't like these people. Lori says, sorry, Lana. Yes, please watch. It will blow your mind. I felt sick after watching it. Leonardo is a brilliant comedian too. Which one in particular? Perhaps you might want to tell me because she has I'll just watch her. Which one in particular? Is there a name? Is there a title perhaps? Leonardo is the very best female comedian today. I wish we could do this. And I wish women comedians would do me a favor and say, would you just not talk about being a woman? I know this is terrible. I don't want to hear about your period, your dating, or your whatever it is. It's just like years ago when there was a black comedian. It's like, oh, God. Here we go. It's going to be about being black, about whitey this, about, I know. And sure enough, I'm usually right. Then people came along. Believe it or not, I think one of the greatest was KRS-One. He was a rapper. KRS-One was of the black genre. Blew my mind. Theo Von is so out there. He is one of a. Do you remember when people like Stephen Wright? Remember that guy? What was his name? It was a Greek kid. He was really smart. It's weird observational humor. I think Nick, her latest about. Oh yeah, Nick Fuentes. Yes, I will see that. Thank you. Yes, I will see that one. I will watch that. Thank you for that. Leonardo is not like Nikki Glazer at all. That's another one too. Listen, I'm sorry. Nikki Glazer, it's trite. You're never going to go down in history being this. I don't want to say filthy. I don't want to say that because that's a stupid word. Sexual stuff can be funny, but this is Nikki. Lay off this. You're coming out as soon as you see your dress, you go, oh, okay, I see it. You know what her theme is? It's hard to believe I look this good and it isn't be this funny. Let me tell you what Theo Von is. You know what's the most important thing? What Theo Von and that, what's her name, the country singer? That's a love affair. That's interesting. Watch that. That is beautiful to see it happening. Because I still believe in love. I believe in love. That's interesting. Not this crap about Nikki Glazer and this, and I'm a slut, and I did. I just, look. It's not because I have some kind of a, what am I trying to say? It's not because I have some kind of a moral thing against it. It's just, a lot of people in the world have had sex. And it's not like, did you just notice this? Why is this so, it's alien to you. It's like, you can't believe it. We know this. It's not, it's like there's nothing, I hate to say it. When a comedian is a parent, and these 3 o'clock feedings and this breastfeeding, well, let me tell you something. It says that boil the nipples, but that hurts. You're not going to kill anybody about being a parent. You're not the only parent. But let me tell you what Theo Von said. What is her name? You know what I mean? Elsa, whatever her name is. Theo Von comes out, and you think he's just this. He has these observations where, first of all, he's harmless. Harmless and lovable. Harmless meaning not that he's pointless harmless, but you like he's a little, like you look at a little duck, think, oh, you pick him up, he's harmless. But you know what I mean? There's nothing threatening about him. That's what I'm trying to say. Perhaps harmless is the wrong word. He has this very self-deprecating thing. He's a guy who fought drugs, and that's terrific. He'll laugh about everybody. He will say things to black people, to women, did you see that when he was talking to that kid who was blind? He had not cytokinesis, there's a name for it. And he was just asking her questions. He would talk to kids. There was an innocence, a purity. So then he's with this young, you know who she is. She's the country music singer. And there, she brought him out on stage with him. And you can see it as like, oh. Remember when you were a kid, somebody said, ooh, you like her. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Or she likes you. No, she doesn't. Yes, she does. It's kind of like that, where it was almost innocent but funny, like just the way it should be. I know innocent is basic. Watch that one. That's an interesting story. I'm tired of all this stuff. It's gratuitous sex stuff. It's not funny. If something comes up that's novel, okay, maybe. But there's something about a gangbang that I think most people can relate to. I'm sorry. You know, vivisection's another one. Does that make any sense? Look at this, TD. Boy, TD's on fire. TD, we got to talk to you. You probably don't want to do that. TD says, well, look at what Fauci did to the HIV parents patients back in the day. The man should be in jail. Absolutely. John says, Gene Hackman's wife died from hantavirus, right? No concern then. Why now is the virus? Are the powers to be trying to put another COVID control over us? Yes, 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 absolutely. Yes, yes. Am I clear on this? Yes. They're doing it again. They're doing it again. They don't know when to stop. Yes. Yes. I don't want to bring up Hegelian dialectics, but problem, reaction, solution, thesis, antithesis, synthesis, the Hegelian blending. Yes, absolutely. Lockdowns, get your masks going. Even though if you look at the way it even is contracted, this is the most important. This is the part that gets me. It's not the same as COVID. It doesn't matter. People aren't going to be listening to this. We've seen this before. I'm telling you, remember everything, what do they call it? Project 21? Everything that we saw during COVID, every single aspect was in that tabletop version, that Johns Hopkins version of it, where we all basically were told right off the bat what they were going to do. And they're going to do it again because they learned this was a beta test last time. That was a dress rehearsal. Absolutely. Oh, look at this. Oh, but I can tell she's a real thing. She says also to keep our wee eyes. Oh, that's legit. Our wee eyes. That's beautiful. Anyway, also to keep our wee eyes on other things to control, divide, and conquer, as David Icke been saying for decades. The postage stamp consensus. Yes. David Icke, I'll tell you what there, wee TD. You're one, TD, in your face. Icke was okay. I'm still working on the reptilian thing. Still working on that. Okay. I didn't really connect with the reptilian. I mean, they kind of look reptilian. I think they're more equine in terms of the facial morphology of the Windsors, but a lot of stuff that he said was terrific. Cooper, absolutely ahead of the game. You know what we should do is one time drop me on. We should have you on one time. You probably, maybe under an assumed name, maybe wear a mask or something. But I want to hear people who are, whatever happened to, and this is, what happens to people? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are the folks who were, anyway, I'm just becoming circular in my thoughts. You're absolutely right. So my friends, the point of the matter is simply this. If you want to hear something, if you want to hear today's Candace's position or point, why it was so good, it was an example of using duplicity, legerdemain, confusion, deception, bait and switch. It is one of those things which just absolutely, whatever happened to Edward Snowden? Whatever happened to Edward Snowden? What happened to Snowden? Anybody talk to him? Is he going to be what? Whatever happened? Nothing. Whatever happened? I mean, I'm serious. This is the part where whatever happened to anything, I just look. I can do it all day long. I can spend the rest of my life saying whatever happened to this one. Whatever. We just stop talking. One day we just have the attention span of an gnat, and it just goes away. Think about this. In any event, my friends, I thank you for this. I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. First and foremost, do me a great and glorious favor. Number one, please like the video. Thank you for this. Number two, thank you so much for showing the love to my beloved, my girlfriend. She's still my girlfriend, Lynn's Warriors. And tomorrow she's doing Washington rally on Capitol Hill. And let me tell you something. We need your support. You cannot believe. I mean, we have thick skin. She is thicker than anybody else. But when she comes out in support of children, nothing else. Nobody, no names, no. She never talks about Erika or Kent. Nobody. It's just one focus, and that's her thing. This is mine. They come at her like you can't believe. They're blaming her for me. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell you're going to blame me. But trolls and bots, professionals, there are these bot farms that go after her. You can't believe it. Why? Because she's helping children. She doesn't want children to unalive themselves. Did you hear what I said? Never mentioned Trump or anybody negatively. It's not about politicians. It's about awareness. Awareness. She got an email today. There was a tweet. There was a father who she put together. You should have seen this. And let me tell you something about Trump. And I know sometimes I'll tell you, anybody will tell you, our foreign policy, But I'm going to say it again. You don't know what he's like by himself and how he treated those family members who were, their world was destroyed. They're standing there. Some have gold coins, like the armed forces do. They exchange coins with their pictures of their children who are no longer here. Good kids who, some of them who might have bought something, a pill, not a drug, but just something online that was just laced with fentanyl, or somebody who was sextorted, or somebody who was bullied, but somebody who might have been the victim of basically big tech. And all they wanted to do was to make big tech accountable, to put safeguards, guardrails, shut it down. So anyway, so Mrs. L is at Mar-a-Lago, and they're with these family members. And it was the day that this war started. So everybody was there. Everybody, the generals, and it was battle stations. And he stopped what he was doing. He could have very easily said, listen, you can understand, I'm so sorry. And they would have understood. No, he met with each parent and talked to them, took pictures with them, gave them stuff. They couldn't believe it. Golfing on Mar-a-Lago here, or the course, opened up his heart. That was on no TV. Nobody talked about that. Oh, bought everybody burgers and Trump chocolate cake. He was just so accessible. When he is himself, when he's real, I'm telling you, there's nobody better. Nobody. And that's what it's about. It's about these families. It's about the most basic area of care, human being to human being, to prevent a child from, it's tough enough, kids who die from cancer, kids who have irreparable surgeries that are inoperable, I should say, things like that, accidents. No, they were fine until they came across social media, and nobody wants to shut it down. But the same stuff that shut you down, and look at TD. Look at TD. Look at that. She's got that Brit speak. God love you. What's happening to her in her country, they want to do to our country. So anyway, follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors. It means a lot to us, and we want to show these bastards that they can't push us around. Think about this. Imagine this. You stand up for families and people are trolling you and say, what? But that's the world we live in. And let me tell you something. This is a tough broad. You can't get to her Uh-uh. Nice try. Save your electrons for somebody else. Doesn't work like that. It only makes her stronger. I don't want to go on Nietzsche on you. Okay, what I'm saying? And by the way, I want to also say something too. I think we also want to say a special, how about a special to hi to TD. TD, you look like a young lady. She says, no masks either. I do like my personal space. So the 2 feet apart, I didn't mind. I hate folk breathing down my neck at the checkout, especially with a mask on. Oh, I'm with you on that. I used to I knew this one guy who would get real close to you. I had like a magazine and I would hold it out and I kept saying, don't stand so close to me. So that was it. But TD, somehow we got to get you on. Don't you want to have her on? I should do that because they'll probably break down your door and do whatever the hell they do it. In any event, so let's see what's happening. All right, my friends. Okay, thank you so very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, Lionel Media. We are so close to, with your help. I'm not like these big folks. I'm not like these big folks, but we're coming up at 400,000. I'm at 398, 500, 398. And I need your help. I got to hit that 4 because it's just right there. And then you can sit back and wait for a while. All right, my friends, we love you. Have a great and a glorious night. Thank each and every one of you for staying with us. I appreciate it immensely. Your comportment, your deportment, your demeanor was terrific. Very, very kind and very appreciative. Appreciated, I should say. All right, my friends, see you tomorrow. Don't ever change. And don't forget the final words. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.